Well, she has pretty good answers for us. A lot of his demon flip stuff that a lot of characters have to kind of guess what options he's going to go to. As long as he has meter anyway.
And I just didn't think about Mika. That's a blast of the past character. Like
the season 1 terror.
Yeah.
Back when corners or wherever she wanted them to be.
No, that's actually what she's going with. Okay. Akuma versus Rainbow Mika. She's using V-Trigger 1. So there's no Fudo tech. No Fudo tech. But still pretty serviceable V-Trigger nonetheless.
I mean, I guess, like, it's not so much with her when she has one that's just so superior that it's like, why would you pick that? It's just more like,
what flavor do you like?
Yeah.
I'm a grape man.
All right, here we go. In the mean streets of Metro City. All right.
Looking for the drop kick that immediately got stuffed off by the Hado.
Yeah, she's already looking to kind of bait out some anti-airs, but Joel's not really biting so far.
The crush counter sweeping. Had the right idea, just a little too early. Hefty punish coming out of Joel on the trip to the corner as well. Cotton Nova trying to move. And that's actually pretty big that she was willing to be reversal at the start. So her comeback's going to be pretty hard if she gets another chance to play, which she will, but she's got to find her way off of her back. Blocking a V reversal.
All right, well, this is a good way to get started.
Yeah, but again, this is going to be a hard mountain to climb. Lucky the drop kick missed from the top, gets the command throw over to the corner, and this is a pretty good start for her. She's going to need probably 2 solid guesses, except for a low forward. Found her legs and found the first round in Joel's pocket.
Now, here we go.
Ready for it. And he was setting it up, throw a lot of Hados in the first round and was seeing that she was trying to belly flop around it, so he knew jumping was on her mind.
Checking for the throws, finally gets the frame trap going.
Well forward again. This time with the parry just to build up some V game. And it's looking really clean for Joel, getting the stun, getting game 1.
All right, the only damage he took was just the white damage. So the first round was pretty back and forth, pretty competitive. But once Joel kind of established his spacing, he was able to take the anti-airs and he just rode it home. All right,
that time it paid off.
So that's what's something big that Joel did in the first round of the first game is checking that roundhouse with the V skill.
And a lot of it is coming like Nova's taking the guesses, and she got one. But instead of pushing the momentum, pushing the tempo right there, she resets and tries to take another guess. Second time she got denied, gets stuffed down by a DP, and going to find herself on a bad end of a beatdown and possibly going down to the loser's bracket. But again, it's because when she gets her guess, she's not allowed to really put too much pressure on there, or she chooses not to, rather.
Yeah, Mika's definitely about pressing the issue once you get that knockdown. That's where she shines.
Joel's ready to try to keep her pin with the low forward. Got the hand check with the stand forward. That one's still so good.
All right, catches the stagger.
Yeah, but still too eager. Again, it's like took the small gain of getting Joel off of her back, but immediately wanted to press. Found herself on a bad end of the parry, and it's looking like the end of the match as she can't get up right here.
Is she going to call a V-trigger?
Oh, okay, that's the start.
I don't know if maybe she wasn't expecting it to hit, but in any case, it did.
Yeah.
It threw off the hit stun, or threw off the throw, put on the throw protection, and that was it. So definitely some good ideas there. We just got to push the issue, like you said, the wake-up pressure, better game plan after the roundhouse, because I think that throw thing happened a couple times during the match.
She got one in round 2 of game 1, but it was just more of getting a knockdown and what's the plan afterwards. Because the entire match, Joel was able to play defensively, which is what the only thing he wants to do in Street Fighter. That's all he ever talks about. I want to let somebody kill themselves. That's literally what he said. So how many DPs did he hit? How many anti-air V skills did he hit? How many grounded V skills did he hit? She just gave him a lot of opportunities to really play the game that he wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So we got one in the books, and I guess we'll wait for our next match again.
Seeing what else we have coming from the Southern Fried Game Expo.
here at the, what is it, Renaissance Atlanta Waverly Hotel.
Uh-huh.
So,
What room are we in?
what room were we in? The Hammersham.
It's like, don't look at me. I can never remember that. I've had to ask like 4 or 5 times today.
You go through you take the stairs, you hit a right, and you'll see us. If you happen to be in the venue or happen to plan to come by today. And we'll be here for a few more tournaments today, so.
Still have some Under Night going on. Gonna have Mortal Kombat and the new Samurai Showdown later. And we're gonna close it out with some of that good Tekken.
All right, so I'm guessing Roman Nova is being redirected back to the stream. And then we have another player stepping up, I think. Or I guess they're all just trying to figure out what's happening.
That's the name of the game over here.
What's happening? Oh, okay. So we got a Alabama boy on us.
Oh, really?
Yeezy from the Discord.
Ooh.
So
Came to pay us a visit?
Mag didn't tell us he was coming.
Man, I wish I would have had my do-rag for him. Rag up for the dynasty. Yo, did you see? I know this is a complete side topic right now, but did you see that for Evo, for Anime Evo, there is a drive incentive for an Anime Evo do-rag? I want one.
Well,
I want one.
Well, hopefully they'll hit the Kickstarter or whatever it is they're doing.
It's a shop donation or a shop incentive. So I got to look more into that when we get back. But that's for other games that aren't here right now. We still have some more good Street Fighter V.
And if I recall correctly, Yeezy is a Karin player. And so, yeah, Mag has been training him up. And he was actually a combo breaker.
That's a character we don't have around here anymore, which is surprising. Like, we have some middle-level ones, but, like, no real strong standout characters. That's something that's been a problem with the state if you think about the history. Like, we have good players, but it's really rare for them to play strong characters. I want to say the only one that's really happened in 5 was Neon playing Colleen.
Yeah.
Not to say that Terrence is not a strong player, but Chun-Li past season 1, not really the most threatening thing ever.
Yeah.
FGC Jesus with a fang, like.
Yeah, you definitely got these skilled players, but the characters are not typically, I guess, evaluated very highly by the community overall.
Right.
But here we go. So you got Kuma versus Karin.
I kind of wish he would have threw DRD up there just to represent.
I'm sure he's watching. All right, here we go.
Checking to get some space, finding the roundhouse, trying to equalize things here.
Yeah, both these guys are keeping the game pretty tight for the most part.
Yeah, I kind of question the raw Tenko, like trying to take an extremely hard read on the Hado, which didn't pay off, but still he's able to get some momentum started, take the lead away from Joel for now. Just a real back and forth battle in the middle. Finds the crowd spear. Unfortunate that drops.
All right, we're gonna go roundhouse in the V trigger.
And went all the way down.
And well, it worked out until the after the hit.
Joel.
I ran out of invincibility. Yeah, right in time.
Ooh, really? Okay. Willing to commit down. Doesn't take the confirm, but a walk-up throw from Yizzy.
Yeah, it was like 3 chances to win, and it worked out, but he was playing with fire.
It's kind of scary out. First time on stream here, we got to get the jitters out. Big crowd.
All right.
Big roundhouse as well.
Reverse it to the knockdown.
Yeah. He didn't have the range for the throw, and Joel didn't flinch. It's amazing.
All right, Joel just gradually pushed him to the corner, and now we're here.
Right.
But, let's just dash out.
You can't really get too far. That side swap is so huge for him, but he's not able to keep Joel contained. Wasn't ready for the crossover. Trip to the corner again. Tick throw. Nice. And that back throw will pay dividends for him, but can he keep him contained this time?
So right now, Yeezy is sitting on pretty much a cannon right now.
Yeah, but it got jammed. Wasn't ready for a jump in. Big Fierce over the top.
I wonder what he spit that meter on, though.
He might have been looking for a DP and just got a bad input. It's possible. He might have tried to slide under for some reason, but, something we'll have to analyze on the backside.
All right. Throws Joel in the corner.
Yo! On the bottom, just let it rip. Was looking for the low forward.
That fadeaway air fireball in the corner. Not a highly seen tactic, but hey, it was effective.
Nice.
All right, it's done. And this should be it.
Or
very close anyway.
Oh, he got it.
Yeah, he got it.
You're going to question Karen?
I questioned Karen, and she made me pay. So Yizzy going on the board, 1-0.
Cutting wins.
It's not the cleanest play that we've seen, but whenever they get the hits, they tend to go all the way down. And like, given the opportunities that Yizzy's had, been able to make so much from it. He's just got to be able to make sure when he puts Joel in the corner, he doesn't let him go too far. Because that's where it's been really scary.
I can see that.
Caught him trying to move with the jabs, caught him asleep with the throw.
Now Joel's kind of raising the tempo here to see what Yizzy has.
And I want him to really commit to trying to whiff punish one of these, because he's seen Yizzy throw so many buttons in his face. Saw a sweep, and he saw a roundhouse, and there was no response to him there, no guessing.
All right. Okay, based on V-reversal, but doesn't actually punish it.
There's nothing he can really do about it at that point, but he still catches the throw on the rebound, isn't ready for the neutral jump. Yeah, he doesn't want to play with that anymore.
Let's book it out of here.
Last time he got his leg blown off, perfectly content to playing from mid-screen.
Yeah, sitting on some decent meter in case you need to rip that DP. Almost has super available. On the contrary, you know, Joel doesn't quite have V-reversal ready. He's sitting low on meter. So those are some very risky jumps, but Yizzy's not putting out a proper response.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a couple of good crouch fierces. He doesn't want to spend the meter because he wants to, if he needs it, use it now. If anything else, save it for round 2. But yeah, just like anything to deter him from jumping in will be looking good. But low forward is the start when we have 16 on the clock. Hand check, stand forward, needed a gut.
Yeah, both players are playing the clock pretty hard there, and I guess Yizzy kind of broke first as far as making a move.
But he's still in a good position. Again, the meter you were talking about, bottom right, is there. And he's so lucky that Hado caught the tail end of him, because he probably would have lost half his life right there.
All right, Joel, see, catching those anti-airs.
Ooh, yo, demon flip slide. Now it's starting to look like a real problem that Yizzy's holding on to the meter because he's not getting anything from it. Fully loaded, getting tossed to the deck again, gets a throw break.
Yeah, he's trying to cash out, but Joel's just kind of picking him off little by little. And now he has a lot of health to work with.
And it's so good that he got the trade to stay alive in this round, but a neutral jump, twin piston double Hado again. He's taking 2 out of 4 rounds with it.
Yeah, so he hasn't had a lot of really strong answers for the air game overall. Like, there's been some crouch pierces, but he hasn't really been answering it, especially in that game where he's kind of sitting on his meter.
Right.
And like, he can't take it into game 3.
I really think he was just putting too much stock into using a super, right? Like, it's a serviceable plan. Didn't pay off, but if he would have found the hit, we'd be talking about another game at this point.
Yeah, definitely. This is more about checking your resources versus the situation at hand. But in any case, he had Joel in the corner, so everything's looking pretty good for him right now.
This game 3 with Yizzy, pretty dominant control. Just has to make sure not to make any big mistakes.
Okay, get check on the neutral jump. Gets those ankles clipped in a bad way.
Oh yeah, and that's a different answer this time. The last few times we've seen Joel in his face, he went for the throw this time. Yizzy with the low, but still getting mopped up by the crowd strong.
All right, gets a hard knockdown, but the V-trigger's gone.
Ooh, the ball?
So right now, okay. Goes it. That was it's a pretty aggressive burst of moves, but he got it. Got the little short.
With Yizzy on match point, what's happening? Going over the top side, looking for a throw. And it was a delayed throw. Delayed throw.
All right, catches him dashing in.
He's fished for that so long, he got it, but since it wasn't EX, he couldn't really do anything with it. Low forward punish. Okay.
Right. Finally fishes out that throw, and Joel's been doing a pretty decent job of not flinching there, so when he finally did, Yizzy was waiting for him, ready for him.
Speaking of flinches, caught him dashing in, taking his activation. Good place to activate, but he couldn't really keep him down. Gets swept. Yo, this is going to be huge.
I think that's it.
Should be.
Yep.
It is.
built the super and goes ahead and takes a 2-1.
To be going against the Abigail of Absolute Chaos.
Okay, yeah, Absolute Chaos I've seen around here and there, especially during the Red Bull days.
Right.
He would come around, so it should be interesting. Ace has been, building up that Falk for a good while. You know, he typically is known as for playing Ed, but yeah, he's shown a good affection for Falk. So we'll see how far that goes.
I still kind of question why. Not because I'm trying to be one of the people that downplays the character or anything, but Falk is so not an Ace character, you know?
Maybe that's why he's picking him. He's trying to be something different, trying to evolve himself.
He's trying to be solid?
Trying to be solid.
Oh,
The road to solid is not easy.
Not at all. Especially when you're looking at somebody who's 2 times your size than Abigail.
So I can imagine her kit will be pretty strong against Abigail, but obviously, you know, the age-old adage, don't get hit.
Don't get hit.
Let's begin.
All right.
Going back to Metro City. Around your neck of the woods.
No, of course. All right, started out with some some pressure, but he's getting dangerously close.
Yeah.
But even though Absolute Chaos kind of closed the gap, he just wasn't really sure what to do with it. And now he's in the corner, getting bullied by Falk. No punish. That's a very punishable move.
Finds the low, finding him trying to move. Meaty with the command.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets enough stun off that standing short.
He does not.
Yeah, so
He does not.
there was no combo there, and it's looking like Ace's Falk is probably gonna cruise through this one so far.
We'll see. But you got to remember that, like, all of that honestly happened because Absolute was looking for him to continue stepping back, and he jumped over him. Like, if he can just wall him and keep him in the corner, we could have a different game.
Well, he gets a V skill off.
Nitro punched off the mark. Yeah, the Fierce lurking.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fierce, it's big one over the top.
So now the situation has been reversed, but
Yeah, it was a pretty good EX knife. Looking for the armor as well, but that's what happens when you miss. What you say? Don't get hit?
don't get hit.
He got hit.
Yeah, again, right idea, but the timing was off just enough for it to work. So Absolute Chaos on the board. He's looking a bit better.
All you got to do is stay in front of him.
And Ace is just going to go for the fierce only strategy. Okay.
Over the top. That's all we want?
Ace waits out the storm. It's looking pretty good. Even though he's getting pushed to the corner, he's getting a lot of health, but as I say that, he jumps over.
Yeah, the super looks nice, but the real thing that's so good for him is the jump. Because not only does he get the damage, he has all of the stages to play with. If he wants to just back up and see if Absolute Chaos hangs himself, which he's doing. Peace out.
Ooh. All right. Ooh. Finds the jump in.
You just got to get the V-trigger activation.
All right. Goes ahead, just V reversals. Oh.
There it is. Nice. And it was kind of scary for the second that Ace wanted to go in, but he finds the trade in the air with the jump short, and it's enough for him to jump up 1 game to none.
Yeah, Ace is kind of showing a lot of control with Falk, but again, there's also those moments of absolute chaos where he's able to create a moment such as that jumping roundhouse at the end of the round, and then things start going downhill very quickly for Ace. Luckily, he was able to kind of rally back.
Bro, you looking so shook up there. You see that deep breath? Like, he didn't look like he was in control. He looked like he's scared for his life. Game 2.
All right, back to poker with Fierces and the fireballs.
I mean, if he's not going to swing at it, why not?
Yeah, mostly Absolute Chaos's answer to Fierce was try to armor through it with the run. And that hasn't been too successful overall. Like so.
I just like the part where she jumped on his face to stop the run, and all that led to Absolute Chaos just dissolving in the corner. Nowhere for him to really run. But yeah, he just can't get anything started. Ace sitting on match point.
All right, taking a more conservative strategy than pushing him to the corner, but it loses his patience a little too fast.
Yeah, ain't nothing conservative about a sweep, man. Okay, low forward, much better option.
Some good damage, some good corner carry.
He's got to find it again, though.
All right, just looking for the Fierce with the V skill, but it wasn't quite on the mark. But the fact that he showed Ace that. Okay.
Looking a lot better. Got his toe tap. Can he get out of the corner? He gets the super. So he's going to get some space. I was wondering if he can get completely out of the corner, but this pans out really good for him as well. It resets the positioning. Ace is trying to go on the offensive. That got snuffed out real quick. And it's bad because he got stopped, but he gave the V-trigger activation. First time Absolute has really been able to play with it. Oh, yeah, Ace is scared. No buttons coming out from him. Trying to go over the top.
Yep.
Crouch short.
Gets punished. So, yeah, Ace is trying to look for the overhead, and didn't work out.
He was just trying to take too much. Like, it was good that he got the super and got out of the corner, but he put on his britches and thought he could bring the fight to him. He thought wrong.
Yeah, he thought he could swing with the big man?
Yeah, man. It's it ain't looking good for him out there. But round 3 looking a whole lot better for Ace. Prime position. Didn't have a snipe for the jump in. And he's really content to letting Absolute just charge at him at this point, because I mean he hasn't really done anything with it. Like, most of the damage has come from Ace just trying to fight back against it. So he'll just block. He'll lose some space.
So, well, Absolute Chaos has got the advantage. Okay.
Ah, yes. Straight through.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for that next hit.
He wasn't ready for him to get him a hit of Fierce either. Bruh!
And
Wake up Fierce.
So a lot of what Absolute Chaos has kind of done over this last game is essentially turn it into a mud fight.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's willing to take a few of those Fierces, which he has the help to do, obviously. And now he's just trying to drag Ace into a situation where, do you know how to punish the flips? Do you know how to punish this? Do you know how to punish this? If you can't, I'm just going to keep it going. And Ace, while Ace is showing good control, he hasn't shown a lot of Abigail-specific punishes.
Nah, not at all.
And so, like, until he sees that, he has no real reason to just not walk at him and just do things.
So because of that, I'm thinking we're going back to the portrait gallery, because Ace is going to take a page out of Absolute's playbook, throw an Ed back at him, see how much he knows about this character. Because
He'll put on the boxing gloves.
Huh?
He'll put on the boxing gloves.
Yeah, man. Because these aren't common characters.
Not at all.
Really possible, especially at this level, to just not know anything. And if you're the one playing the character, the question turns into how many tricks and gimmicks do you have?
Yeah, like, that's always kind of been Ace's MO, is playing that super obscure character where you have to really go in there and know their moves, or else, you know, he can do a lot of things with it.
Here's the scary thing about this in my mind, though. He's giving up the baton. He has a projectile. He has another projectile in the Psycho Balls, but except for snatches here and there, he's not really going to have the same range to contest with Absolute. So, going to have to piece this game plan together with 2 rounds.
Yeah, because Ed is most likely to get what he wants. He's got to go up to where Abigail is strong, and that may not work out well for him. But he calls out the command grab, and that's a good start as any.
Side swap?
Oh no, and that might be the beginning of the end.
It could be. Big drop, fighting him on a bad end on a couple of crashes. Good jab, but wasn't looking for the EX up.
Back throw, forward throw.
Okay. And even though it was looking kind of crazy, kind of scary after the drop, Shadow Ace was able to keep it contained enough to get a couple of grabs, get himself up on match point. And no matter what character he's playing, he's still pushing in the armor, though.
Yeah, you can definitely see a big difference in how the range is working out.
Right.
Ace is struggling in a lot of places he wasn't before.
But he's still trying to readjust from it, right? He's still trying to adjust his pace, because he was trying to walk away from the avalanche smash. Couldn't get away. Gets the side swap with the V-trigger.
All right, Absolute Chaos is hunkering down. And he has a life lead, so he doesn't have to really commit too hard if he doesn't want to.
No.
But in any case, it works out for him.
Double throws. The Bay Area rise, taking a good old regular throw, and we find ourselves sitting on the last round. Both of them have supers as well. But I imagine, yeah, that's what's happening right there. Not going to dump it all at once. Use all the tools. Use the EXs.
And the funny thing is that you can see that Absolute Chaos actually knows his Ed punishes. And I think he was doing pretty all right for the obscure punishes versus Falk as well.
Right. Super leaves him in the corner. V reversal doesn't have the space for it. And that was kind of a brave block by Shadowway because Chaos has shown that he is willing to go for the command throw. He's done it twice, so it's reasonable to think that he would look for the punch there. But, you know, desperate times. He might have been a command throw there. We could be in another scenario. On the backside, EX up.
Pulls it out. Yeah, I think the big thing with the Ed switch is not so much the neutral versus Abigail, but I think he felt more comfortable running an offensive game.
Yeah.
And so with that, he was just kind of like, I don't got to outplay you, and the neutral I'll just run over you.
He actually has stuff he can use.
Yeah.
Like you're alluding to, when Ed gets a knockdown, you know, he has pretty fast buttons. Gets decent reward from his throws. Falk, on the other hand, doesn't really want to be there. Like, she can, to some degree, do the same thing, but she's still wanting to look at the mid-range, long-range, where it's kind of dangerous. One, because she still has to deal with the limbs of Abigail, but also because she's only doing single-hit strings, or single-hit buttons, right?
Yeah.
Gets demolished by armor. But Ace perseveres, and he's going to be moving on to winners finals against Yizzy. Because that was winners semi.
I've not seen the bracket, so
should probably pull those up. But okay.
All right, so we're going to go hit that bracket of alternatives to success, as you call it. And we're going to have Joel versus Data Kraken, the big man in charge of running this event. This is the FTC tournament specifically. Known as a grappler lover.
Are they taking the tag off of him if he wins? If Joel wins? I mean,
I don't even know what tag
he's got Data on. He's been having Data on, and he's going against the boss. Like,
did he have his own breakers tag on there too?
I don't know. I didn't see.
I guess we'll see.
Joel the People's man, because shouldn't he technically still have final round?
No.
No?
That got dissolved.
But he can live on in the spirit.
Yeah. I still remember final round, was it 3 years ago? And then Larry came and dropped Joseph Strait. I found that in your closet. In the closet.
I remember that.
Yeah. Those old final round jerseys. They were pretty cool.
Yeah. Man, times have changed so much in this state.
It has. You still see some of the old faces, but yeah, there's also a lot of new blood coming in and out.
And just the places that we're at as well. Like, we're sitting here at basically a pinball and old arcade cab convention. And we used to just sit in our own corners back in the day.
Yeah.
We would still fill out, like, convention halls every now and then, mostly hotel ballrooms, but we wouldn't be hanging with anybody else. I can look over on the other side, and I'm watching Fatal 4-Way and GoldenEye.
Yeah, they got the GoldenEye tournament, and I see one of the Data boys up there rocking it, too.
Oh, yo, Breakman?
Breakman.
He speed runs GoldenEye. That's pretty sick.
He's a pretty big fan, but we ain't talking about those guys. We're talking about the boss man and Joel. So he using his signature Geef.
He's got his own breakers.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, Geef. Even though he's a big beefy dude, historically this matchup is pretty obnoxious for him until he gets in, because that's a character with a fireball and a better walk speed. Didn't really need it so far because he's also got really good buttons.
And yeah, and the funny thing is, while Geef has pretty good answers to the demon flip overall, his lariat will actually just fly out loose to the throat.
Ooh, but the jumping is a pretty good answer to the Hotto. That's the start.
Goes ahead, just activates. He actually had the stun state, but he decided to go for the mix-up.
Yeah.
Instead of going straight for the damage.
A little too greedy. Greed that Joel will gladly take to the bank as he gets the first round.
But I actually want to see presented, and I guess we just saw his jab SPD, because he's in the range where it starts looking really scary.
Might feel a little more comfortable when he takes the real estate away from Joel, but wasn't ready for him to break through all the armor. Forward in a Hotto. Was looking for it again, but flexed on.
Woo! Okay.
Bro, is he done?
He's done.
Gee.
That's a Kuma we talking about.
Yeah? That's what we were talking about over here in the spectator seats, man. Told Joel, don't get hit. I guess don't get grab falls under that, but yeah, don't get hit.
All right, beefing up that aggression.
There are no Hottos, yeah, because he was looking for a jumping, but I was just pointing out that there was a lot of room for Kraken to walk in if he really wanted to, but I find himself back to the wall, pushed to the deck again. Caught trying to press a button. That's going to be the stun, and that's going to be game 1 going to Joel.
Yeah, he's doing pretty all right using Geese pokes, and but overall, yeah, he's playing in a range where the jab SBD starts looking really good, but he's typically relying on the pokes and hasn't really presented it overall.
Right.
And so that's when kind of shows why Joel's just kind of comfortable just sitting there.
And then when he gets on the back foot, like when he gets under pressure and he starts blocking, like he's getting counter hit a lot.
All right, big punish for the lariat incoming. Catches the jump out.
And he had the right idea. He was looking for the stand strong, just a little too slow on the draw. Joel fleeing back to mid-range, trying to get out of SPD range, doesn't want to get snatched up again. We haven't seen it yet, but the idea has to be on his mind. It's Geek.
Looking for the fireballs with the forward Fierce. Oh, and it just throws out the plane, Fierce.
Yeah, but he can't stay on top of him. Wake up into a backdash.
All right. Not so good timing on the V-trigger activation.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for him because if Joel wants to sit on and push the issue, he's not going to have to deal with a V-reversal. Gets the block on there, nothing there, stuffs out the dash.
I like that he used the EX fireball to stay in the air long enough not to get sucked in.
And he took the meter off of him as well. So this is looking really good for Joel to move on.
All right. Kraken going to the Bulldog and approach.
It ain't working.
Yeah, he's put the fireballs back in his pocket, and it is showing here the effect that they had from earlier.
Gets a solid side swap as well. Ready for the V reversal.
There we go.
That could be no more than the second SBD we've seen, right?
As far as hitting, he's whiffed a few. Or a couple, rather.
But it's giving him the lead, but yeah, he still can't go too far. Gets the jab SBD. Just what you wanted, right?
Not quite the one I had in mind, but it still worked out.
I mean, it's looking really good for him. He's like putting Joel on the back foot, making him really scared. But he gets in, gets to confirm the super. It's not going to be enough just yet. Not even enough for the lead, so he still has to come push the issue.
Yeah, it's looking real scary because he has to walk in on Keith. Those crouch jabs are no joke.
I mean, they're lurking, dude. Oh!
Yeah, he got a little too anxious and activated. It is definitely not an anti-air tool.
Nah.
I mean, I think sticking with the jabs there might have got him what he wanted, but I think he got a little anxious when he saw that life bar draining.
Jab and the lariat, jab and a close jab.
Stuck a stand strong out there, so just kind of went down the whole list. But in any case, Joel managed to weather the storm and come out on top. So it's like chaos is going up there.
Yo, gets Dirty Llama?
Dirty Llama. Our resident Ken runner-up. Ultra Street Fighter 4 contender.
He plays Ken everything.
Hey man, he likes the blind guy. He likes them flaming uppercuts, man.
Plays him in USF 4, plays him in Third Strike, plays him in 5, plays him in Cross Tekken. If I remember correctly, he won Cross Tekken at CEO. Is he the first or second?
All right, so I'm guessing he plays Genjiro in Sam Show.
Possibly. We'll have to see. That'll be your duty.
No, my duty.
Yeah, man.
All right, so Absolute Chaos coming back up to the rock, the Abigail, the big man himself. So we'll see what we'll see what Dirty Llama has for that. Let me see if he's gonna step kick into
it's probably gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen. I was thinking like, how many ways is he gonna get jumped over 2 big boots to the face? When is he catching a nitro punch? Like, it might not happen often, but I mean, it's one of the risks you have to take against Abigail, right? You can't just let him walk at you for free. So
that is true. After having a pretty crazy battle versus Shadow Ace, I'm wondering if he can kind of drag Dirty Llama into that same kind of, back and forth where Abigail, that's where he'll win as far as trading and damage.
I think it'll be kind of harder for him to do because one thing that's been kind of universal about Dirty Llama in all of his games, since he is a Shoto player, he understands that at some point in time he just has to DP. He'll live by it and die by it. Shadow Ace tended to look more for anti-air DPs. He did a couple off of his back, but it wasn't stuff like, oh, I blocked something. Let me make sure nothing else comes. No, so
Yeah.
I think there will be a different dynamic to the invincibility in this game.
All right, we'll see how it goes. All right, boldly walking forward. No DP on that.
There's no buttons at all. Just trying to see what he's about at first. Jumping in a back throw, and a huge back throw, because if he wants to go back to the same thing, get some more information, he can.
All right, misses the combo, but not a big punish. Now you got a big punish on the Tatsu, so
There's been a lot of information said in those 15 seconds that passed, showing that we're willing to look for command throws. Yeah. Dash in, just blatant runs full screen.
yeah, we're seeing some big buttons in retaliation and all kinds of sorts of things. And he puts himself in the corner versus Abigail. I don't know how that's a good look, but he manages to catch the nitro punch. Back fierce, but sees nothing.
He's used so much meter on EX Tatsus, and it's panned out for him. Just allowed him to find his way in time and time again. Again, Dirty Llama's not one to go too far away from somebody.
And I mentioned the dogfight earlier where Absolute Chaos is trying to do it, but it's Dirty Llama who's actually trying to bring him into it.
Yeah, man. He's still got another meter for a Tatsu if he wants to. You know it's coming. Gets a solid punish, corner carry as well. Well, wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, we're seeing some decent punishes, anti-airs, but his hit confirming is putting him in a little danger. Okay.
You don't need to confirm anything if you find a crush counter.
No conversion off the overhead, but
You don't need to confirm anything if you get the crush counter.
I guess not.
You got to block though.
Well, he got the overhead after the crush counter.
That was the joke.
Well, it wasn't funny.
All right, fair enough.
Well, anyway, in any case, Absolute Chaos brings it back.
Going back to the quiet game. I say quiet. Hados this time, trying to see if he's willing to bite on. Going over to the top side when he catches him pressing the button. And I like this. Because, I mean, he can't build anymore. Just go ahead and dump it out. He'll probably get one more Tatsu throughout the round. That's what I would imagine.
Yeah, and Ken has that kind of automatic corner carry there, so.
Might not even need it.
All right, there we go. Oh.
And that's the second time that he's put a crouch strong on his wake up, found a counter hit. But he just doesn't believe that Chaos is going to come up pressing.
Well, he did actually link the crouch forward. He just dropped the part after that.
Yeah.
So, like, again, his big problem is a lot of damage he's been taking is from the lack of his confirms, or rather that's when he loses control of the match.
Wake up low forward. Wake up on the deck, low forward.
Both these guys are very fond of retaliatory buttons. And in this case, it happened to work out for Dirty Llama.
Yeah. He's about that life, man.
Then if you want to not be politically correct, they like mashing.
Well, let's see who's going to mash the second game into the books right here.
All right.
We like mashing, huh?
Yeah.
Got hit twice, tapped with a short jab. Caught the crush counter as well.
All right, very close to stun.
Takes it with a throw, so this is going to be huge.
Nice damage. Corner trap. And there he goes. Again. And so Dirty Llama is pretty much adjusted to all the button pressing there.
Was that like, that was 2 crush counters, but was that like 3 counters in a round, 4 counters in a round?
I think so. Cause,
it was burned over there on that side of the screen.
Yeah, that standing fierce. Okay, there you go. He's like, you know what? I got armor. I ain't got to deal with this. He forgoes the crush counter punish.
And after blocking the first DP on Wake Up, he waited for a second one, which gave Llama a little bit of life, but couldn't really do anything with that except for back into neutral.
I didn't have an answer for the EX Abigail punch on block. All right, corner throw. There we go. Gets the conversion this time.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got on Wake Up.
Empty jump low, ready for it. Ooh, good backdash. Can't really do too much with it.
All right, gets the conversion, and I believe.
No, not yet.
Ooh. Okay, was ready with the DP.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to take that chip.
I was just concerned if he like dashed in and pressed a button.
Yeah. I thought he may have did the dash kick, but in any case, Dirty Llama takes takes both games. It was a little wild,
Yeah.
a lot of wild, but he ultimately takes it home.
On a scale of 1 to 10, all right, 1, it was pretty tame, pretty calm. 10 is like, yo, bruh, how wild.
I say an 8.
8. Just walk somewhere, man.
We just need you to get to the stage, man.
Yizzy over here trying to walk through the maze to get back on stage to play against Shadow Ace.
So we saw his Karen earlier. We saw Ace's combo of Ed and Falk. So I'm interested to see where he'll go versus Yizzy's Karen.
I imagine they'll start with Falk again. Well, logic tells me he'll want to start with Falk again. That's might not be what happens.
Yeah.
He might stick with Ed because, again, he's clearly more comfortable with Ed, but like just playing the matchups out in my mind, having button rather to contest Karen's low forward, to contest her roundhouse, like to play at that range. Sounds pretty good with Falk.
Yeah, it's a matter of how comfortable he feels with spacing and everything with Karen. So
The other end of the spectrum, you might just want to get in there and hit the buttons, man.
yeah, you might want to just punch you in the face, right? Sometimes it be like that.
What a lot of people sound like when they talk about Karen. Well, we're going to have to wait and see who he picks from the portrait gallery. Going to have to take a second while we wait to thank everybody who came to chill with us. +2 on block at Southern Fried Gaming Expo. Brought to us by the good old Data FGC.
So yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Man, Ace, it don't take this long to set your buttons. Let's go.
He might do what I've seen KB King Birdie do, which is he has 2 different sets of buttons for Falk and Birdie.
You think Ace went through that much?
I said it was a possibility.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
But no, I do not think Ace went through that much.
Rude. You said it, not me. Oh, there.
I had to pick the right color. Okay, he's gonna go with the boxing, man. And I guess Yizzy over there checking his notes. Or maybe Mag is telling him put your do-rag on, man.
I got in the Discord and told him to get in here. I don't know if it happened. If it is, big ups to Mag. If not, you a fraud. Could have been here chilling with us, man. We could have got some Uno in.
Oh Lord, I forgot to bring my deck. Let's go. Yeah, we don't even talk about that terror over there. All right, match is about to start.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. We got to change the stage real quick.
Oh, man. They can play it. I mean, I see Yizzy reaching for his phone, so they're not going to play it, but they can play it.
Nah, he said he need absolute vision on those perfect feet for Karen to hit all those buttons.
But there's like no cans going down there. There's no low slash kicks or nothing. They could have did that.
Nah, he needs to see Ed's feet shuffle. He needs to see all of that, man.
Whatever. Whatever.
All right, so we rolling back to a new stage. We're gonna get the flying stage next. Never mind.
No, they picked it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Yizzy really here trying to get his last second tilts, man.
All right, man. Oh, I hope those notes pay off.
Trying to get all the lure he can off of Data's own Shadow Ace.
I'll show you the divide in our class.
Round 1.
All right, here we go.
Fight.
All right, Yizzy taking that conservative approach. Ace not swinging too hard. So both together, guys just kind of filling each other out a little bit.
And just by like the seconds I look at Yizzy playing here and playing earlier against Joel, I really get the impression that he's not from around here with the patience that he has. Like, this is a different bit of a matchup because he's not looking at a character with like a strong DP for free and Hado. But when people around here tend to scrap mid-range with a character, they tend to be a little more active. But Yizzy, pretty content to waiting at the beginning of his round.
Definitely.
Clearing the set. Oh, yo, he got swept up by that. Punch slightly intended. Wasn't ready for the cross-up.
All right, Ace looking good out here.
Borrowed time. All going into the clock of Shadow Ace for the first game, and that telling Yizzy that it's time to push the issue before he catches a back throw. And bro, how many of them sweeps has he hit? Like,
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
there's so many times that we've seen him in the corner, and he just threads the needle with a sweep just to get something started.
I guess that's his ultimate answer for someone trying to stagger pressure him.
It's pretty accurate with it.
Well, Ace got a sweep of his own, although he was just trying to activate.
Yeah, you got to calm down. Like, I know exactly why he was holding up back. He didn't want to deal with another one of those right there. Lucky that he only got tipped with it. But he lost a good amount of damage trying to walk away from it.
All right, Yizzy fully loaded here.
But that means he's going to have to deal with this. Try to press a button or try to move. Let's try to move. Checkmate.
All right, catches him in that true string into the chip super. Ace going on the board. 1-0. 2 more to go.
Yeah, that was a pretty convincing 1-0 as well. 2 straight rounds. Had about half his health both times. Needed a V-trigger to do it, but he wasn't put in a scenario where he needed the V-reversal and considered not having it. So everything really going according to plan for Ace.
Yeah, Yizzy is showing like kind of like control here and there, but he hasn't really like just like poured out like carrying damage on him at any point.
It's hard for him to find the hits. Doesn't have the timing for him. Like, he gets a sweep, but he wasn't ready for the initial dash. Those are the kinds of things he really needs to be looking for.
All right.
Gets a low forward, but nothing else behind it. Gets a second one, and this time going to dump some of the meter.
All right, looking real close to stun. Nice, calm, comfortable, in control of this corner.
He's got to be really careful, though, because the jump wasn't on my mind. I was thinking of DP. Yo, that's big. That's really big.
Yep, definitely. He keeps the corner, wastes the V-trigger.
Gets the crouch fierce.
Tries to finish it out with the overhead, but Ace was ready. Oh,
you know, Ace could have had a second V-trigger if he wouldn't have done the V-reversal right there, but he might not be in this round if he would have did it. Jabs him out, and he's bringing his back.
I think he messed up the DP input.
He did.
He did.
He did.
I guess he didn't quite time it against the return of control.
It be like that sometimes.
All right, so Ace looking to go to a second game. He struggled pretty much at the very beginning of that set, but he ran it back.
Tenko gives us the trip over to the corner. I say Tenko when it wasn't punished. And that's the position that Yizzy wants to be if he has to deal with the V-trigger, because he didn't even really need to V-reversal it, but he just wanted to make sure there was no funny business going on afterwards.
Understandable. All right. Got another corner carry. Oh, he had the right idea. He was just right out of range. And Ace is not letting this opportunity slip by.
Trade that Yizzy will gladly take in a second V-trigger. V-reversal again, this time for the spacing, but dashing a little too far. He took that from the top tier of the state. The dash back, dash in. Yo, he's trying to get the S tier up here, man. Took that out of the Neon Terrence playbook.
I mean, you get hit by it enough. Eventually, you start thinking this is maybe a good idea.
He eats it for breakfast.
You are what you eat, I guess.
Oh, man.
So good stuff, Ace with 2-0. Yizzy's having his moments, but he's not quite able to completely contain Ace. And it's usually what happens is one big moment, like in one game, Ace neutral jump, he missed the anti-air, and it all got turned around.
Yo, is he texting Mag? Yo, bro, what do I do about this? He's dashing everywhere, man.
Do they got an Ed in Alabama?
I don't know.
It looks like he got a lot on his mind.
I bet you Tim play Ed.
Instant kill.
And so, it looks like we're going right back into these same characters. I guess Yizzy's checked his notes, talked to whoever he had to talk to, has cooled his head a little bit, and hopefully he has a better strategy. But he hasn't quite hit that next button yet.
I can't really see this. I kind of wonder if if he happens to be one of them old ancient people that just listens to music. Maybe he's changing his playlist.
Is he wearing his headphones under his
I can't see.
It doesn't look like it from the camera.
Yeah, no telling.
Yeah, I guess he could have wireless. That's where we are.
Round one.
Yo, you know what he might have did? He might have went to the Karen Discord.
You might have went to the Karen Discord? Yo, what do I do against this boxing dude? What do I do against Mr. Ed?
Go for some throw bait. And surprisingly, that's the first time that that Shadow Ace has done a view reversal.
Yep.
Rolled out.
And got him right out of the corner.
But now he's lost so much life before he even gets a chance at a V-trigger because he was trying to move. He's not going to get to see it in this game.
Yeah, I was about to say we've seen this story before, but this is the first time he got the stun on him.
Yeah. Maybe just got the idea to stick onto him a little bit more, actually challenge him to use some meter to get him off.
Yeah, because I think his conservative approach was what was giving Ace the room to kind of push the envelope there.
But by holding on to the meter, Ace is going to get the super, going to get a trip over to the corner as well.
That's definitely a good, some good damage. Okay. Just he wasn't ready for the classic.
You know how many people would be mad at that, but it was such a good idea because, like, can he put a real meaty on you? Well, you better show me.
Oh.
Neutral jump, the Psycho straight, and he's so close to getting this done. Oh, if he would have hit that deep enough, we'd be going into game 4.
Oh, no.
Tried to EX dash through, couldn't get through the wall of Ace, and that leaves him on set point.
The reason that didn't work is because Ace actually moved up with the fireball and kept him from colliding out. Kept his collision box there, keep him going too far.
Ready for the dash.
It's like Ace has got that big moment, and he just feels so confident now. Like that's the kind of player Shadow Ace is that you can definitely see his confidence levels on the screen at any given time.
Yeah, a little too confident as he got hit out of the dash. Going to go ahead and throw the upper. Wasn't sure what was coming out through the record. Speaking of confidence, 4 dashes with a Psycho Ball behind him. I don't blame him. Jumping to the other side. Yizzy was looking like a deer in headlights right there. He's going to get one more guess off his back. Wasn't ready for the throw.
All right, Shadow Ace with a 3-0. He's coming up. He's coming up.
3-0 Shadow. 3-0 Shadow.
Going to the grand finals. And again, like we say that, but in locals recently, the only people who've really been gatekeeping Ace are Terrence and Neon. No one else has really been beating him.
I still don't want to give it to him.
Well, he's taking it. You don't want to give it to him, but he's going to come snatch it out your hand.
3-0 Shadow Ace.
So good stuff by both players, but Ace showing more consistency and hanging in there.
This has to be Earth 2, right?
No. I mean, like, you saw him hitting them straight conversions. You saw him making good use of the V-trigger. Like, he's making some pretty good decisions out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just laughing because what I'm hearing behind me. I can't pretend like I can't hear it in the headphones. The Shadow Ace matchup, that is a pretty serious thing in this state. Like,
yeah, you do. Because, I mean, what's the strongest move in a fighting game? The one you don't see coming, right?
Yeah.
So we got Joel and Dirty Llama up on deck. Two of the data boys. So I imagine we're going to see Ken versus Akuma.
Yeah. I wonder how often they play. Like, that is a pretty big scene.
Well, I think Joel's just now really kind of coming back to really hit Street Fighter button direct.
He's been playing a good bit lately. Like, there was the recent period where he only played at tournaments. If he played in his own home, it was with Shin Phoenix. But that doesn't mean he couldn't sit down and take the time and play people at tournaments, especially at all the +2s. So
that's true, but then there's the other side of that. How many times do you see Dirty Llama sit down playing Street Fighter 5? You know he likes his classic games.
Yeah.
He likes his SNK. So it's like
I don't really know him for liking SNK.
Yeah, he's usually, whenever they did King of Fighters 14, he's usually one of the guys who always enters.
Right. I just have him like framed in my mind as Third Strike, man. That's really it. And then when somebody says SNK, I honestly forget people in the state play 14.
It's a thing. So he's gonna go with the pimp outfit. And let's see what we got.
I I still want that to be a shirt. It still bothers me that it's not a shirt.
Oh,
It's
man.
so good. Tell me that's not like the best graphic they put in here.
It's pretty strong. I guess we're gonna let it rock.
Yeah, we doing this.
All right.
Okay.
If you got motion sickness at home, please turn the stream off. But in any case, Joel's going on with a pretty aggressive fireball game, actually.
Yeah.
Trying to prod Dirty Llama to jump, and it worked. And I think he kind of realizes that Dirty Llama is definitely pretty aggressive, so he wants to keep those fireball pokes active.
Getting the side switch, demon slide, converting all the way down. Yes. Had it on his mind that throw tech was coming, and since he saw it last time, doesn't think he'll double dip, taking the throw, taking the stun, taking the round. Joel.
All right, so outside of a little choppy moments, it was pretty clean cut.
A little turbulent, you would say?
A little turbulence.
Now Joel being more on the offensive, walking at Llama, pitting him down in the corner, was ready for the DP. And I'm pretty sure even if he hasn't played him, seeing him on stream should have given him the idea that he would do that. Because Llama's shown that he will do the light punch DP.
Just waiting out the, I don't want to say craziness, but just let him kind of tucker himself out.
You got to give that to Ken players. If they have the meter, like no matter who they are, EX Tatsu's on their mind. It's such a good approach.
Well, I mean, like that amongst other things, right?
Fair enough. Get off. Thought he could get there in time to stuff the Hado. No good. But still, Joel in a pretty sizable position. He dashed in, he saw the neutral, and he didn't DP. And that's kind of interesting.
All right, gets the frame trap off the fireballs.
And that was so unfortunate for Llama because he had Joel in a questionable position, back to the corner, saw him jump, but he didn't have any meters, so nothing he can really do except for watch the purple rain.
So we're going into game two. Typical fireball game here. All right, I guess.
I was about to say, you say typical. We just saw a Hado from Akuma just fizzle out in his face. That ain't typical at all. And all of that was coming from a nice trade that Joel was taking, getting the side swap as well. Hado moving away.
These frame traps are super effective. I can see why you wouldn't want to go to throw versus this, and so Joel's noticed it.
It's just like the options that he's using, like all of his offensive tools have been lining up so well. Like it's one thing that he wins the neutral, but he just has a really good idea of how Llama wants to try to defend himself. And time again, Joel's been able to put him on his back. Was wanting that to cross up, didn't find the spacing for that, giving Llama a chance. Tick throw from a run. And see, on the other end of the spectrum, Llama's not as clean and systematic with his offense. He's still got the roundhouse and he's still got the stun from it, but it wasn't from like a clean setup.
It's usually, again, like the mud fight. He brings him to a place where it's just scary to push buttons in general. And then he tries to take advantage. But it's usually not something like a deliberate frame trap, a deliberate meaty that he's getting his stuff off of.
A Tatsu that hits the mark.
Yeah.
But he's able to pick up the scraps. That's why he's still here. But he's got to find something to stay alive because with Oliver talking, Joel is sitting on match point. Fierce is going to take the target combo. Looking for a button, but will gladly take some more frames, take a little more damage, just shaving him up. Waiting for it. And again, he's setting him up. Like he really has an idea of what Llama's thinking is just coaching him into jumping. Wasn't ready for the second one though. But the damage has been done at this point.
Yeah, it's like even if he gets out of the corner, it's still a very uphill battle, even if it is Akuma.
Will gladly take the invitation to the front door, walking behind the roundhouse, and at some point in time you knew it was coming, but can't get a real jump in from that. Joel just gladly going to rise up with the back fierce. Going to take it 2-0.
All right, so I guess we're about to have losers finals. So I guess it'll be Mr. Yizzy stepping up.
No, he's not. He's right there. Hi, Yizzy.
I guess he got to finish his meal, yeah.
What's he eat?
I couldn't see. I just saw him eating.
Looks like a wrap. I don't want to turn around. I don't want to be that guy. Although I should just be that guy. Now, where you going, man? You still got more Street Fighter to play, man. He's trying to go play that Sam show. That's what it is.
So
It is a wrap.
So maybe Joel should call a timer on him, right? Since he's so hungry, he should go ahead and take a game.
Yo, Joel, you think Joel's that kind of dude?
Yeah, he should do it.
He should, but is he that kind of dude? I don't
No,
think
he's
Joel's
not.
that kind of guy. Oh. Yeah, Yizzy over there. Just get. It's hard to do this right here. Get the stack on. Chick-fil-A wrap. He says this is power up.
See, all right, man. Let's see if he can get up there and do Bama proud.
He did it before.
He did.
He did it before.
This is a new set, man.
It's going to be a lot harder for him. And not even because of the basic, oh, well, since he won, Joel is the one who had to think. But it's not even because of that. I think it'll be really hard for him simply because Joel has seen him now. Like,
Yeah.
I want to believe that if he's had any contact with Yizzy, it's not a lot. So didn't really have an idea of how he's going to play. I can't imagine that Joel is super fresh on Karen. Again, he's not one to really sit online too much, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really have Karen in the state. So as common of a character as she is, it's not like on the forefront of his play. He's used to looking at Zeku and Vega. Let's be real.
So I guess we'll see what he learned from the last set and then where it goes.
Where do you think this goes?
I think Yizzy will still take it, but it'll be a much closer set.
3-2 Yizzy?
I see. That's what I'm thinking.
Huh. See the pounds going down.
Now you see
Oh
going
my
through the closet.
Jeez. There's been a lot of outfits in this game.
They figured out what worked for the last game.
He goes through all that and just picks default anyways. Okay.
I mean, hey, you gotta go through. Get the hangers out. You gotta compare it. Then you put on your same old shirt that you've been wearing for 10 years.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
All right, so
Losers final action from Southern Fried Gaming Expo. That is Joel with the Akuma. Yizzy FGC. That's the Durag Dynasty Yizzy with his carry. Getting caught with a back roundhouse anti-air and a side of a throw to go. And yeah, that walk-up alone makes me believe that Joel has paid attention to Yizzy and put some thought into it as well. Because, again, he realized that Yizzy is very inactive at the beginning of a match, so he has a lot of room to really stretch his legs and see if he can, like, coach something or just slide in a throw. Now, when he gets a bad input and loses half his life from a DP, that's not exactly what he wants, but that's simple mistakes, simple mistakes.
yeah, but they can cost you everything.
He still gets to play. He was just getting to his V-trigger faster. This is Akuma. This is Street Fighter V. Turned into a dangerous man.
Yeah. Oh, you can say the same thing for Karen. This is to confirm. That might be the beginning. Yeah, in fact, yep. Confirm that probably could have killed, right?
The confirm would have did it. He let the anti-air slip away from him as well. Caught a couple of opportunities that Yizzy had that really didn't line up for him.
Yeah, and it cost him the round at the end of the day, but it's a new round.
He's ready for it. Yeah, that's something I like to see from Yizzy. Like, he's got to represent that at some point in time. It's kind of sad that he doesn't have any meter anymore, but that's where it looks least likely to happen. You really want to give your last one just to break out and play neutral again? Well, if you can get it back, why not?
Goes that takes a trade for the demon flip.
And I want to say that in the last set, he was pretty good with at least taking the trade. Like, he didn't really win cleanly against Demon Flip Palm, but he was able to keep Joel off him, which is what set him up with the V-trigger over the top. That's the round.
Went ahead, just went for it.
It's a solid reset. Like, good time to do it as well. Like, finally got a burst. Maybe he'll catch Joel, because Joel hasn't really shown that he's just going to try to DP through a string, like not one of those old school people. So,
yeah,
reasonable idea for him.
Okay.
Ooh.
Good whiff punish.
That's the kind of thing that I've always hated too, where you're in the spacing where if you're looking for them to press a button and they don't, it takes so much confidence out of your anti-airs. Turned his buttons off, walked in. Took about a third of his life. Caught him pressing. What are we looking for? A throw? Yes, sir.
Yizzy was looking for it as well.
And he gets his signature sweep, but he's got a lot of mileage to make up. That's a pretty healthy bar up there. And it's an Akuma bar, but it's still a lot of life to work through.
Well, he's sitting on a little bit of juice, as I say, as he gets thrown.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely had the resources to make it happen versus Akuma.
See, what I tell you, man, he has the resources. He's saving them for the next game.
Saving for the next game.
And they'll be back.
That's right. The UPS man is on the way with that meter. Knock, knock, third round. Here you go, buddy.
Joel over there trying to collect himself, that deep breath.
All right, so wood on the board for Joel. We'll see if that prediction pans out.
Round one. Fight.
So it's a dangerous whiff on that crouch fierce, but ultimately nothing came of it.
On the other end, I was thinking Joel was looking for him to walk forward, and since there was no walk there, he was just playing with his expectations. Again, trying to get some information and see where he was at. Saw that he was kind of antsy, threw a couple of frame traps out there. Getting a stun behind him. Still sees that he's willing to press. Looking for a throw tech right there, and we'll have to look for something in round two.
Round two. Fight.
Yeah, I think Joel's found the formula here.
And taking the same play, but this time Yizzy stepped up, didn't have the answer for it. So I'm going to have to pay a little more attention to it. I kind of wonder if the timing is changing where Yizzy's looking specifically for Demon Palm and Joel's going for a Demon Dive.
It could be possible.
No matter what I think, this round is looking really good for Yizzy. Like, trying to pay Joel back, but lets him get the V-trigger activation. Palm to stuff him down.
And again, catches him with that throw. And we're sitting on stun, and that should be it.
Like, he's just not a believer that Joel is going to go for the throw rate time and time again. Because I want to say 3-4 times they've been in that scenario, back to back, where Joel has ticked him, stand short, walk back. You see the hands in the air. Like, I don't think the sweep that Yizzy had in the last game came for that. We haven't seen him throw a low forward out there. He's just a believer that the throw is coming at some point in time, and it's not there. It's not there.
Yeah, definitely from the last game, you saw him, like you mentioned, he did love using that sweep to kind of counter that sort of tactic, and we haven't really seen it here.
No, I'm checking this real quick. I'm checking the Discord. I want to see.
Man, we ain't on camera, right?
No. Nah, wait. Nah, he ain't in there. He's sending him a DM. That's what it is. Yo, Mag, help. Tim, help. No, he ain't going to Tim. Ain't nobody going to Tim.
Well.
Going over to the house shoes, help.
All right, so we back at it again.
We were saying 3-2.
It might be a 3-0 for Joel. Looking at that.
It's kind of rough.
Hopefully, he can gather himself and change up his tactics.
Taking a different approach to this game is Joel, backing up and trying to see where Yizzy's head is at. But ultimately, quiet start so far, nothing really doing, but not really concerned with trying to whiff punish like you see. Just trying to take the space that's given to him.
All right. Is this I mean, it's not really going on. Nothing really going on here until I see Yizzy run up with the crouch forward.
And it's kind of unfortunate for Joel because he had the idea the dash was coming, I believe, because he threw the jab out there. I don't know if that was a check or a fake to Hado, but he just didn't have the spacing to catch it. V-trigger. He really pressed there. Because elbow was plus. He really pressed there. It's interesting. More interesting that Yizzy let that fly. Speaking of letting it rip, Rasenha. Joel has every reason to stand up at that point. He's seen it one time. He's lost a round for it. He knows that Yizzy will go back to it time and time again. Demon flip, looking for it. And he changed. He had the right idea, but the timing is just off.
Or maybe if you use that sweep you love so much.
I don't know if he wants to commit to all that, but
yeah,
it's just really sad to see that he's paying attention. He finally understands that he needs to make different decisions, and it still didn't work out for him.
No, he's using that tactic for himself now.
Yeah, man, it's pretty good. Looking for it again, nothing there. Yeah, we out. Peace.
Yep.
Throw the deuces up mid-screen.
Get used to that back dash to avoid the initial block stun.
Yeah, but the second he goes in, he got blown up, tossed over to the side, and he gets a crouch fierce. I wish he would have got the side swap as well. That would have been so big for him. Joel gave it to him. Yes, walk in, crouch strong. That should be the game.
Yep. Kind of sat on that V trigger even though he was kind of losing in health and positioning.
Yeah.
And he did have a few hits where he could have brought it out, but I guess he was just waiting for the big moment. I think that's kind of something that describes Jizzy overall. He's constantly waiting for the big moment. Sometimes he misses the little details.
Maybe a different allocation of the resources will help him out. That's what you're getting at. It's unfortunate to see because the pieces were there. It's just they didn't really line up. But on the other end of the spectrum, like you have to give credit to Joel, like a lot of credit to Joel, because it's one thing that he can't deal with Yizzy's resources. That's all on Yizzy. But the actual defense, and again, the choices that Joel was making when he wanted to press, how he wanted to press. Like, is he looking to straight up hit him?
Yeah.
Is he looking to take the offensive because something's whiffing? He gets him down. Like, what is he looking for? Is he looking for him to take a throw? Is he looking for him to press a button? Like, he just seemed more often than not to always have the right answer. Not like a reasonable answer, but the literal right answer.
Yeah. It did always come across like he was just one step ahead in those situations, and he usually capitalized on them pretty hard. And gave him a 3-0 as opposed to the last set. It's very different.
Yeah, man.
So we got our grand finals. Shadow Ace versus Joel.
The Ace matchup, not the Ed matchup, not the Lord, not the Fault matchup. I'm surprised he doesn't play Lord. Not.
All right, we're gonna give you kind of a view of the event in a minute. So here's everything. You see us sitting there in the front. You see the audience, and over there on that side, you see all the retro stuff. You got various consoles and old games. And our tournament's kind of taking place on this side, and got a little Sam Show, Tekken, Street Fighter, various fighting games on our side. And back there, way in the back, there's the other room, the exhibition halls, all the booths, the tabletop games. So it's a pretty big event. We're kind of entrapped in this one room, but there's a lot of stuff going on out there.
Oh man, we're trapped in here looking at the grand finale of Street Fighter V, the Southern Fried Gaming Expo. Again, over on the left with the Akuma, that's Data's own, Zonebreaker's own Joel, having to see if he can take 6 games away from Data's Shadow Ace. Yo, Data looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good.
They couldn't get 1, 2, 3. You know, Llama couldn't hold down the 3 position. But, 1, 2, pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Not bad. Not bad.
We take those.
Round 1. Fight.
Game 1.
All right. So it looks like the Birds on Ace to kind of deal with this fireball game.
Yeah, and it's going to be kind of hard for him to throw a Psycho Ball out as well. One, because he has to set it up with Fierce first, but he's also got to fight through multiple hitting fireballs if Joel wants to throw out the Red Hotto. EX will look pretty good as well when Joel gets to it, if he wants to use the meter for that. Waited for him. Backpedaled, hit the back Fierce. Came over the top with the Fierce. And that's a different approach he had to looking for a throw, because throughout the entire day, we've seen Joel back up and let people whiff, and he took the forward. This time, he just knew that Shadow Ace wanted to take the throw. Hammering, but no conversion.
Yeah, Ace just feels like he's just kind of fishing for something. He's not quite catching what he wants.
Right? And he's trying to push Joel over to the corner because he can't really do anything after he comes in from the snatcher, and Joel has consistently checked him with a jab. So at some point in time, Ace might look for a Psycho upper, but does he really want to use the meter for that? He did get a big payoff with the white light that came with that, so he's been able to whittle him down.
Yeah.
Joel's been playing too much BB tag. He ain't getting hit by that. A little too amateurish for him right now.
All right, goes ahead and V-triggers the fireball. Gets the big jump.
And I like the idea he faked the palm, but there was a jab there. Yo, he's done. He's done.
All right. Not quite.
My bad.
Yeah, Ace is sitting on a lot of resources. 2 dashes. All right.
Throw and a crouch strong. You see the desperation over on Shadow Wish's side to try to get anything going. Wasn't watching his toes. Strayed a little too close to the crouch mid kick. It's rough. It's rough.
1-0 looking real good for Joel. In the second round, I wouldn't say like he was dominating, because it was Ace had good ideas. It's just there was no real reward off of them.
Right.
He was just like you mentioned, willing him down. But this is not really a willing down kind of game. At least not in the long term.
Man, Joel's seen too many snatchers at this point as well. Like the last game, he blocked the ball and he just checked him. He jumped 1 at the end of the round, but after seeing 2, he jumped the second one, and we're finding ourselves getting really close to the end of the first round of game 2.
All right. So Ace is trying to back up, get a little space, but just tosses over the V-trigger.
That has to be so devastating for Ace. But he still has a little bit of life, a little bit of fight. Doesn't have the range to confirm the crouch strong, so he's going to have to go the whole 9 against an Akuma. Good luck.
Yeah, Joel properly answers the psycho ball there and closes it out.
The psycho upper?
No, when he threw the fireball, he
Fair.
had the multiple hit.
Fair enough.
All right, here we go. Ace throwing out that DP. And Aces is kind of like, I was talking about earlier with Ace's confidence you can see on the screen. That's when you start seeing stuff like the psycho uppers start coming out, is when he loses confidence.
Dash getting shut down from long range. Back to the Hado War. Okay, feeling a lot better about this. Yeah, just tucked that in just in time. Thought he was going to slide that one in, but he thought wrong. And a throw as well. Joel is woke and ready. And I'm liking that idea because the last time he did that, he tatsued over the top of it, so didn't want to give it to him again. Ooh, I don't know about the neutral jump, though.
Yeah, Ace has been pretty on point with converting those.
I think, and it might be because of how Joel reeled back. He might have wanted to neutral jump and throw Hado to pause, but because he crossed under, it flipped his influence.
That is actually very possible.
Still checking. Taking the plus frame from that. 2 scoops. Yeah, but just a little too focused on the ground, isn't ready for the jump in. No real harm done from the jump in, but allowing him to press and getting the chip, it'll add up at some point in time.
All right.
And these are V triggers as well, so it's dangerous because he has more options to play with, like you're seeing, getting the hard knockdown on him. The Shadow Waste matchup. The Shadow Waste matchup.
I mean, they've been playing for many years.
Yeah.
So he knows what comes with the territory.
So you're saying that in a past life that was a flying Gigabuster? Yeah, I mean it was.
That's a whole list of moves I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely understands that tendency. And then again, even with us saying that, he's been pretty conservative with it overall.
That is true. I want to joke, but I feel like that might have been the first upper he's thrown from a frame trap, you know? There's not too many of them.
Yes, usually he's done a couple off his back, but yeah, he hasn't really been trying to stick into people's face.
Okay.
Got a lot of mileage out of that V-trigger.
Right. And it was one thing that he wasn't able to get the conversion from the cross up, but just being able to keep the pressure from it looks so good for him. And Ace doesn't have to go in, but because of that, he's letting him have the V-trigger, so now he's got to defend himself. Wasn't ready for him to stay on the same side with the Hado. One more guess? Yeah, and he's only on a pixel.
All right. Trying to see Ace is like his energy and confidence is dropping by the moment.
Yeah, he hasn't won a game, and if he doesn't take this round, he's going to be reset. Meta in the air, staying in the front seat. But he's lucky that he didn't take an extra step forward, because I'm pretty sure Joel would have been able to convert that. Gets the crowd fierce. Just pushing forward.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of response towards the demon flips and just the general moving forward. Okay. That V-trigger got thrown in the trash can.
Yeah. I wish I would have been keeping track of, like, how many times he's made him at least block the V-trigger. Like, it's not always important that he hits him, but at least making contact. And how many times Joel's been able to blow through it, because he's been pretty good about it. Not going to be able to get away from this one in a back throw. That's a rough choice that he had to make.
Yeah, it's like corner carry, or do I want more pressure?
Yeah.
And he's low on life, and so it's like I can see how he had to just like that's not an easy, straightforward decision.
No, and because of that, he tried to go for the corner, didn't work out for him, and he finds himself dropped down in the loser's bracket with everybody. That's a reset.
All right, so now it's a quick 3-0, and if he can't regain himself, he's gonna lose to the momentum.
Side note. He hasn't won a round, has he?
Yes, he has.
He's won a round?
In the first game.
It doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't. All right. So he's gonna go with the fault. This is gonna be interesting.
I feel like just taking the player, and this is something I usually don't consider, like the player specifically.
Yeah.
I think this will kind of work against Ace, because by playing Falk, he's saying that he wants to play more of a neutral game. And he's trying to play more of a neutral game against Joel. That doesn't seem like the strong suit for him to go with, but we'll have to see how this pans out as we are in the reset of Grand Finals of the Southern Fried Game Expo. Let's go.
All right, spacing himself away from that staying fierce. Okay. I guess he was just trying to throw off his arc, but Joel was ready for him, coincidentally or not.
If he saw it, he was a little too early. If he was just doing it, he didn't have the timing. But yeah, it's small things that are going to add up. And he's really fortunate that there wasn't a DP there, because that would have been devastating.
I wonder what Joel's experience with Falk is overall.
Probably decent, because when Falk came out, KB was still playing, and he went over to KB's a bit.
Okay, fair enough.
Crush counter roundhouse to start us off, and first round of the reset in the books for Joel.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, Ace finds a good jump in, but he drops the combo.
Yeah.
All right, staying cool on the frame trap.
And I'm thinking that with the talk of confidence, like you see how everything panned out. He had a little bit of life, had the drop, and you see him just immediately backing up, trying to figure out what to do, losing some life, and finds himself in the corner as well. I like the idea that he had. It's just character's too slow, or he needed to dash. He wanted to walk under that. Yes, turn the buttons off. I think he was trying to move because there was no counter hit there, but he knew that there was some kind of action that wasn't a block, because he's seen a few times already in this one game of Falk that when he puts a couple of plus frames on Shadow Ace, he tries to wiggle back. Like, he tried to jab a couple times, he's tried to move. He's not too willing to sit and block. So, green light for Joel to go ahead and press some more buttons.
Yeah, and like when you mentioned that, it kind of says the story of how the whole set's been going.
All of that coming over a forward fierce. Just readjusting himself and waiting for the jump. That knocks down?
I didn't know that either.
Huh. Jump strong. Yeah, you see, this is where it's starting to look dangerous, because Shadow Ace says that he wants to try to challenge him at this range. Sadly, he caught the reset, so the activation is gone. Still has some more tools to play with, but a lot of the umph is gone out of the V-trigger already.
Yeah, luckily he didn't get punished too hard for that, but he hasn't really gotten any real mileage out of it.
He hasn't really gotten any mileage out of Falk, if you think about it, because he dropped so much. He's being so content with throwing the fierce that he's allowing himself to get jumped time and time again.
And it's like Joel's able to just establish a fireball game around him, demon flip at him at will. And yeah, like he's trying to bait out anti-airs and stuff, but Joel's not really doing anything to just kind of indicate that he's afraid of that.
Yeah, he's not getting pressured at that point. Again, still fighting his way out. This time he finds the timing. Gives him a little bit of life. We'll get started. Trying to find some buttons, and he does find one. But a jab, stiff jab, wasn't enough to stop Shadow Ace.
All right.
And with the full confirm, that's the first round that he's taken in a good long time, but still showing signs of life. Okay.
He just took the fight to him, and it worked out.
But he's got to do it again. Like, one's clearly not enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, he only has to win the 3 games, but it's still a real big hill to get over.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure Joel actually saw the jump, chose the anti-air, or air-to-air, but he was too slow. Still catching him later on down the road, taking a good grip of life. I like that. And I like that because it's pretty different from Joel, but again, he's paying attention. He knows that Shadow Ace likes to press, so just shut him down. Try to make him stop pressing buttons. Going over the high bar again with the fear, but he missed the DP. This is a chance.
Yeah, definitely is opening the door for Ace to run it back.
She doesn't get Oki, if I remember correctly, which is pretty big for her. So yeah, a little too eager, dashes in. Joel was ready. He didn't even want the Hado to hit. He just wanted to give himself a safe activation. But, I mean, if you're going to dash into it, gladly take game 2.
Yeah, that's the best part of V-Trigger. No matter what happens, you're going to be ready for it in some shape or form.
6-0.
That's what it's looking like so far. And like Ace fought back, but it was like there was some good ideas. He made some good decisions, but a lot of it was just a bunch of good decisions that rolled into one another and got him momentum. It wasn't like deliberate stuff that was happening back and forth.
His fault's not clean enough. Yeah, I'm liking this going back to that. His fault's not clean enough.
Yeah, it feels like anytime he really got damage off of Joel, it was off of like really obscure things like the diving jumping drop kick, down forward. And Joel didn't really have an answer for that. But so he's usually just spacing himself away from it, so he didn't have to deal with it. But whenever he did, it usually took damage.
Well, here we are. This is the potential last game if Joel can take this. Shadow Ace needs it just to stay alive. And even though he has a different one of the Psycho Kids, still has to be really weary of throwing his long-range tool because he already showed the snatcher, and Joel was wise and had the jump there, just out of range.
All right.
Yo, you jumping? You jumping? You're not dashing, you jumping? There it is.
Side switch. Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere else to put it. He's just kind of letting Ace hang himself.
Yeah.
He did get hit that time, but what does that really mean in the grand scheme of things?
And I get the feeling that he only got hit because Ace was actually a little slow on his reversal.
Yeah. Punish on the V reversal. I don't think we've seen anyone do that today.
He did it once earlier, and I only remember that because I pointed out. But the big thing to note is every time Shadow Ace has been hit in a tick scenario, he hasn't blocked. Like, that's the most he's blocked so far. And he's gotten something from it, but every time he gets knocked down and he gets ticked, there was a jab, there was a Psycho upper, there was a V reversal. DP. Nothing else was happening, so you know that was the only thing on Joel's mind. And he's going to need one more round like that to be your Southern Fried Gaming Expo champion.
You know, somebody wasn't even supposed to be here today.
Yeah, man. They let him slide in last second, late in the class, and he's about to be #1 in the ranks.
Yeah, that 6-0 is looking like a pretty harsh reality.
And it's another thing that when Shadow Ace gets little signs of life, again, he keeps like backing up and allowing Joel to collect himself. So stuff like that happens, where Joel can be ready for dashes. And he wasn't even looking for the Demon Flip specifically, but he was looking to chase him down. Here he goes.
All right, Ace scrolls the screen, very smart, but he lets him jump out as well.
Another unsuccessful super. Caught him dashing. It doesn't have the confirm, but V-trigger activation is pretty good for Joel.
All right. Oh, that was a very clever throw, actually.
Ooh.
All right. Ace showing signs of life. This is still an uphill road, but hey, you got to take the first step.
And that was really big for Ace for a lot of reasons. That was really big for the game because it was signs of life for Ace the first round we've seen since the last game. But that's the first time in who knows how long, maybe the whole set, we've seen Joel DP off his back. Like, he's antsy. I don't want to say he's frustrated or flustered. He's just antsy. He wants to go home. He wants to go to another game. Letting him cook a little bit, building up the white life. Liking that. Taking another V-trigger off the table for him. Waiting for the upper as well, and that should be the set, the match, the tournament.
At that point, the upper turned into something that he was willing to do sometimes to something that he was going to do once you pressured him enough. And Joel saw it eventually because he got hit by like, what, 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
He's like, here it comes. And so good stuff to Shadow Ace, but congrats to our Southern Fried Gaming champion, Joel. Second place, Shadow Ace, both of them representing Data. Joel, Zone Breakers as well. And Yizzy from Alabama coming out, getting third with his Karen. Representing the Do-Rag Dynasty, even though they didn't put it in his tag.
Yo, rags up.
Rags up.
Rags up.
So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and watching some good old Southern Street Fighter action. It's a good time. If you like the stream, want to follow any more fighting game events at majors and stuff like that, sometimes Data will stream at bigger events, and we have our own locals, so go ahead and hit that follow button.
And with that, we're going to be signing off. Don't go too far because we still have some more games.
So I believe up next we should have a Samurai Showdown. And so stay tuned for some sword action. Peace.